Hey, I'm trying a new setup, so forgive the motion here. Here we go. Not terrible, not great. I gotta look up here at the camera though, huh? All right, guys. Not bad. We're so I'm live, and my name's Brian. I'm a single dad. I've been working from home for 5 years now, since 2019, and I've been looking at various ways to perpetuate this work from home life that I've got to keep it going. And I found something actually quite amazing. And the way I got home, meaning the way I was able to come home and work, was that I had worked for a company for about 18 months and built up residual income, right? So that money that was coming in allowed me to leave the office and come home and be with my kids. I'm a single dad, so I homeschool my kids. They live with me most of the time, primary, right? And so I homeschool them. We hang out all the time. I'm only working a couple days a week. I'm sorry, a couple hours a day. Forgive me, it's late. I only work a couple hours a day, and the rest of the time I get to spend with my kids, which is great. And you might think as a parent, you might get, overwhelmed by being with your kids, or your kids might get tired of you, but you quickly learn how to balance the day where they get their own time. They can go play. They love some games online. My daughter loves to design clothes and chat with friends, and my son likes his hoverboard. And he's pretty creative too. He likes Play-Doh and Legos and stuff. And then they get some time on their tablets and phones. But you figure out pretty quick how to balance that time so that I can either work more if I want or do what I'd like to do during the day and talk to my friends, call my family. But working from home has been a blessing, I really want other parents to realize that it's possible for them to do the same thing. Like they can work from home as well. This is not it's not hard to do. I think there was a shift in my mindset in 2019 because I felt like I have to work from home. I mean, I have to work in the office. I got to go to the office. Now, mind you, I was working for the sales company. I had a sales team under me, probably about 12 people, and I hated to walk away from that because the money was good. But my kids were, over the 18 months, I saw my son go from a toddler or from a baby to a toddler, right? He was, just this little jelly bean. And then he was walking and starting to talk. I'm like, I don't want to miss this being at this office 12 hours a day, plus half a day Saturday. That was craziness. And I'm an older parent. I started late in life. I started later in life with my family, and it's been a blessing. I'm glad I came home because when I ended up being single suddenly, it was already set up. I wasn't stressing over how I was going to manage the kids because I was already doing it, if that makes sense. So um, it's been amazing, and I really want other parents to be able to do the same thing. And even if they just come home so they can be around their family more and maybe not homeschool, but they can send the kids off to school and they can be there when the kids come home, or they can pick them up and drop them off and that kind of thing. And working from home would allow you at least that if that's something you want. Not every parent wants that. Some people are totally happy with their lives. They love what they're doing. They love exactly how things are. Well, I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to people who are interested in making a major shift in their life and how they make money. And I think people who are satisfied with the jobs aren't looking and they're happy with their lives. They're not looking. But I think those that are looking for a change, they're not content and they're not happy. And either that or they want more. Even if they're content with how things are, they want more. They want more control, more time, more money. Money does a lot of things. They can't buy you happiness, which is true, but it gets you pretty darn close. And what I mean is that the money allows you to do things. Money, it lets you do things. That's what it does. It affords you opportunity. That's what money really does. You can't, I've met people who had tons of money but weren't happy. In fact, I have some stories about that. Friends, they made millions of dollars working for the same sales company, but they ended up quitting because they were miserable and they were working literally all the time. They had one day off a week, if that. If they were lucky, they had a half a day to one day off with their family, and they were so exhausted they couldn't really enjoy it. So, if you're interested in finding out how to work from home, the first step is making that decision that you're going to make it happen. Just decide that you want to work from home and you're going to figure out how to make that happen. And then you start to look at, well, how much money do you need to make to replace your income? That's the first step. And how do you get there? It doesn't have to be overnight. It doesn't have to be 1 month, 2 months. It could be 6 months. What if it takes you a year? That's still worth it. Think about people who go to a college for 4 years, 6 years, 8 years to get a degree before they can work. Even if you want a professional certificate like a nurse, or if you want to go to HVAC school, that still takes months to learn. So learning a new skill, learning a new profession is not an overnight thing. Even though you see it online, you see this instant gratification of these guys talking about making, well, I made $3 million last year. Well, how do they do that? Do they start on January 1st, and from January 1st to December 31st, they made $3 million? Or was there 6 or 7 years ahead of that where they were testing and piloting and figuring things out? That's probably what happened. People were figuring it out. And then now they figured out how to make money. They can make 100,000 or $200,000 in a month, which is actually not unrealistic in the online world. Not unrealistic at all. The program that I'm in, the founder, she's at 100,000 plus a month right now within 2 years. That's, I mean, I think if some people made 100 grand a year, they'd be happy, but she's doing well over 1 million a year right now. And she packaged all that information up and put it into a program. And I don't mean a training course where you go on and watch videos and figure it all out yourself, right? But a program, like there's a community where you join others who are also interested in making money online, and you all figure it out yourselves. You take the successful actions that were done by the founder and you put them into practice. And the beautiful thing is, other people that have done this exact same thing are also part of the community. So there's other 6 and 7 figure earners that are on these live interactive webinars to help train you and answer your questions every week, sometimes twice a week. And outside of the main training webinars, there's breakout rooms from those where people can go in with specific questions and they can all hash it out together. And someone who's figured it out can share their ideas in there on how to do it. So for those who don't know why I'm talking about this, is because since 2019, coincidentally, at the time that I came home, the internet has changed dramatically. What's available online and what you can do online and how to make money online has changed a lot, primarily because of the pandemic. People are stuck at home and entrepreneurs figure that out. They're like, well, what can we get? How can we make money from this? People are sitting at home staring at the computers. And it's the same old eBay and Amazon. But what else can we do? What else can we sell people? What can't they find on eBay and Amazon? Or how could we sell them something that's on eBay and Amazon, but in a different, more entertaining way? And that was what was figured out. That was piloted and tested and found to be very successful, right? It didn't happen overnight. Again, it probably was 2021, 22 before a lot of these things started breaking out and becoming accessible to average people. I say Joe Schmo, like me. I'm just a Joe Schmo. I don't have any specific special skills. In fact, I have a lot of great skills in sales and marketing, but I knew nothing about what I'm learning in this course. I did not know any of this information. This is all, I don't want to say it's new, but it's presented in a way that makes far more sense than how we've been doing it for a long time. When I say we, I mean people who've been in marketing. Like I was in sales for 20 years. I helped build businesses from scratch using what I knew about tried and true marketing methods, and they worked. But I never ever knew that you could market like this on social media. And I don't just mean for a big company or corporation. I mean just a stay-at-home mom, let's say, and the husband is grinding it out at work, and he's home and he's tired, and but the kids are getting older, and kids get more expensive as they get older, and you got to make more money. How do you do it? She's got get the kids up in the morning. She's up at 5:30, and then she probably has all the housework, shopping, bill pay, cleaning, all that stuff to do. By the time she's done with all that, she's got to go get the kids from school and get them through their homework, make dinner. The husband comes home. I mean, I know the grind. I understand that. But if she can figure out, or if it's a dad, A couple hours a day, they can learn a new skill, launch a business, and the best thing is you can keep it going at just a couple, 3 hours a day. You don't have to work. It doesn't change. In fact, you'll probably start working less hours the better you get at doing the work. The better you get at doing this, the less time you're going to have to spend actually promoting, marketing, and managing your business. And the reason is that most of the work is involved in getting on social media and doing free advertising. And it's just a little time consuming, a couple hours a day, right? But you can shave that back and become more efficient at it by using some tools, also free, to manage all of that. But again, it's a learning curve. There's a gradient. Like little by little, you learn more and more and more. But it's doable. It used to be the business in a box model was the multi-level marketing, right? Network marketing programs. Hey, sell this subscription service, right? Whatever it is, a subscription, or healthcare was a big thing, or some shopping type of opportunity, nutritional products, makeup. Hey, you buy this, you pay a upfront fee, it's $149, and you pay $49 a month, so it's $200 startup, and then you're in, and every month you pay $49, plus you buy your own supplies, right? So you buy in and you're doing it, but nobody really teaches you how to market. And the way what they call networking is really just calling people you already know, which is not necessarily not networking, but it's also not the best way to network. There are better ways to network than that. And you get to learn that in these courses, specifically in the course that I'm doing, the Legacy Builders. Now, I'm telling you, I've been in sales and marketing for 25 years, and I've never seen a program like this. I've never seen something so thorough and so well done and so well presented. And the best part is that they don't abandon you. They don't buy, you don't buy your program and then they're like, bye, see you, good luck, right? Which is like that with some of these programs, you're just on your own. Maybe you get a email or there's a Facebook group. That's the worst, right? You have Facebook, you go to a Facebook group and that's it. You just post a question and hope someone can answer it for you. I've been in those too. Hey, sign up and join our group. And there's 18,000 people in the group, but there's 4 posts a day or something. You ever seen that? I've seen that. This is not what this is. This is interactive training. Training is important. Education is one thing, but think about it. How many books could you read on dancing? How many videos could you watch on dancing? But could you get out there and dance after reading those books? After watching those videos, could you get out there and dance like the people in the videos? Maybe. I doubt it though. That's education. The practical part, applying what you learned is very different. Okay. Applying what you've learned about the program and being able to apply it are different things. So this program is very thorough, it's very effective, and people are making money. There was a story, there's a girl, and she was skeptic. And she's not in the program that I'm in. She's not in the Legacy Builder. She did another one. And she's like hearing all these women talking about making all this money, making all this money. She said, how the hell are they doing that? So she bought a program. I don't know which one it was. There's a bunch out there. I'm not saying you have to do the one that I'm in. I'm just saying, parents, if you're listening, go take a look. There are a lot of opportunities to make money from home. You can be around your babies or your fur babies, or you just want to spend time with each other if you're empty nesters, or if you don't have kids. You just want to spend more time with each other and you're just working all the time and you're too tired at night to, do anything fun or romantic or interesting. So you can change your life by learning a new skill, learning how to market online and sell products online to real people, right? So back to this girl, she was 19. I saw this video. She goes, how am I 19 making all this money? How am I making all this money? She said, I was a total skeptic when I bought this program. I thought it was a bunch of hokey junk. That's not exactly what she said. Paraphrasing. It's a bunch of hokey junk. I'm going to try it and see what happens. And boom, she made $100,000 in 8 months. She says, how am I doing this at 19? I have no skills. I just got out of high school last year. It's because the marketplace on the internet is so massive. You just have to put a little tiny spoon in there and you're going to scoop out tons of money. There's just this flow of money on the internet. I buy stuff online all the time. I bought stuff off the TikTok shop. I bought stuff off Instagram. Now, one was a bad experience, but the other 2 times was great. I bought these squirt guns. I don't have them handy. Those electric squirt guns. Came almost as fast as Amazon. They were great. They were super cheap, almost as cheap as buying them at Walmart. Maybe even cheaper, because I went and saw the same guns in Walmart a couple weeks later with my kids. Great experience. Never would have bought them. If I walked past them at Walmart, I never would have bought them. But I saw somebody using them. They're little lithium batteries, and they go bzz, 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 and they shoot automatically the squirt gun. Now it blows through the water pretty quick, so you have to refill it occasionally or frequently. But I never would have bought that if I hadn't seen it on TikTok. And I went right to the page, and then I said, I want to buy it. And they said, hey, there's a discount if you buy it right now. It's like 25% off. Shipping was like $6 or $8. Boom. Show up at the house in about 3 days. I was shocked. I was shocked. And the people who were selling it were just some mom and pop. And they would buy these products and they do demonstrations. It's summer, so they bought the squirt gun. Look at this, everybody. And look how cool it is. And I think they taped a flashlight with a colored lens on the end. So it looked like a laser when it was coming out because it was lighting up the water. Super smart. It looked really, really cool stuff. But that's just an example that anybody can go on the internet and promote a product or service and they can make money. Now it's not a gimme. It's not like you go on there and half-ass it and do things poorly. But this Legacy Builders walks you step by step from the very beginning, from setting up all your online stuff, your online presence, walks you through that. And if you have any problems, there's a community, there's training videos. But the best part about most of the training videos is a little bite-sized bits, 5 to 10 minutes, so you don't get overwhelmed with information. You get all this information and you go out and you just start doing it. It's amazing. I had a friend get fired recently. Been with this company for 2.5 years, and they loved him. Like he went above and beyond. In fact, the month before they fired him, he spent all of his free time at the office because they were shutting down the office out of financial trouble, which is weird. I won't get into who the company is. They were closing this office down, and he helped pack it up and liquidate all the stuff that was in the office furniture, and then they dumped him a week later, or a week after that was all done. He did all on his own time to help. They just let him go out of budget cuts. It's crazy. And then he enrolled in this Legacy Builders and then showed it to me. And I signed up mostly because he was in it. And I'm like, let's do it together because I was looking for something. And when I get in there, I was like, wow, this is spectacular data. Now, since I've enrolled, I've looked at other programs and we'll see what other people are doing. And this is the golden nugget. Let me just say it this way. They're telling the truth about how to do it. Other programs are saying similar information. And the way you get online and promote and advertise and do it for free and make money is the way all these other guys are doing it, and gals. So parents, if you want to have more free time and make more money, you have to learn a new skill. Or you'll have to learn how to promote and advertise your existing skills, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're a plumber and you work for a company or an HVAC or a nurse. Well, maybe there's some niche you can get into as a nurse. What about those bags, those IV bags for people who are hungover, right? You go to the house, you charge them $200, they get a bag in their arm. That's something a nurse could do. There's all kinds of businesses that in the medical field you could get into. Totally ethical, totally legal, very lucrative. Just got to come up with the idea. And you could do all of that on the internet and promote it all on the internet. You don't have to go door knocking or cold calling or anything. That's days of yore. And I've done all of that. I've made tens of thousands of cold calls in my career. I've door knocked thousands of doors. I've called businesses. It's unbelievable. I've done direct marketing by mail. I've done email campaigns, right? I grew a construction company from 0 to 7 figures in 1 year using all those marketing strategies that I knew. But you don't have to do that anymore. These old antique ways. Now it's all done via the internet and you learn these strategies. It's like I said, it's a learning curve, but you can do it. You can go online, you can find a program, you can do the one I'm doing. You can go to my YouTube profile. I'll probably put the link in here. You can check it out, but it's for everybody. You don't have to be a guru. You don't have to build websites and know SEO. You don't have to be beautiful or talented or whatever whatever you think. The internet's changing. This is something else I noticed too. Is when I first got on like Instagram and TikTok, all these people were like they were like fashion models and gym rats, with the muscles, and they were showing off their bodies and their butts, and it's not like that anymore. That's not what you see on Instagram and TikTok. Well, maybe I guess if that's what the algorithm is feeding you. I see regular people talking about their beehives and the honey they sell, or their free range chickens, or there's a tie dye guy who does mind blowing artwork. He sells his shirts too cheap, I think. I mean, for the time he puts into those things, they should be $300 a piece, but they're amazing. But this is what I'm talking about. You go to his shop, he's got these spectacular tie dye shirts, and I wish he's probably a tie dye guy or something. I don't know. But this is how he finds clients. He just says, here's my process. How he ties off the shirt, how he drops the colors on, how long he soaks it for, how he unties it, and he does a reveal. And it's awesome, right? There are construction companies doing the same thing, real estate agents. Even if you don't want to sell the products that are in Legacy Builder, you would learn a very powerful technique to attract business by studying and applying what you're learning in this program. I know real estate agents and they struggle to get listings, right? They struggle to get listings. How do you find clients? What if you're a buyer's agent? The market's changing. If you're a real estate agent, the market is changing. You better get ready. You better get on your horse, like my friends used to say, because the race is on. That market is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Agents are going to be jumping ship because it's a lot more challenging now to get paid on the buyer side. It's not over in the real estate industry. I've done real estate investing. I'm still involved in some deals. But I can tell you right now that the real estate agents better get their SHIT together. They better get out in front of this and they better start building an audience. There's no better investment than drawing attention to yourself in a particular industry. So if you're a real estate agent, you know one, you should send them this link because they will learn how to promote themselves and they'll stand out in a very already crowded field, right? It's not going to crash, but it's predicted that a lot of agents are going to leave. But who's left? It's going to be like the Forrest Gump on Bubba Gump. He's going to be out in the middle of the water, out in the ocean, with the only shrimp boat available. Well, if you have an agent that knows how to promote themselves and attract interest and say intelligent things and not make fun of consumers because of what they think, but to go on and talk about the home buying process and what's happening in the industry so that home buyers and home sellers feel comfortable working with you. And you can learn the very specific techniques to do this in this program, how to build an online presence. And locally, it's always easier than trying to do something nationally or internationally. It's a much smaller field. I mean, if you're in Greenwich, Connecticut, it's going to be easier for you to build an audience. I mean, you don't want people from Tallahassee, Florida reaching out to you anyway if you're in Connecticut, but it's going to be easier for you to build a following there of just a few thousand people. They'll probably generate leads for you constantly. Build that interest, right? So what I'm saying is that the days of internet experts dominating the internet are gone. Like you don't have to, what I mean by that is you don't have to build websites and be an SEO expert and do backlinks and all of this technical stuff. We're at a grassroots level now. And if you go on to TikTok and Instagram, YouTube, maybe even Facebook, you'll see there's a lot of regular people that aren't doing sponsored ads, that aren't working for corporations, that are promoting their own products and services online, and they're doing it for free. And they're making a living at home. And sometimes they involve their kids in the videos, showing the kids what they made at home if it's a craft of some kind, right? Or if they're what's the word I'm looking for? A craftsman or a craftswoman, right? Maybe they made a piece of furniture, or they made a painting or a decoration of some kind, or they quilted something or stitched something, and they show their kids, or the kids are a part of the business, right? They show you how you ship their products out from their eBay store. They do all these things. It's a very interactive world, and it's shifted since 2019. It's much easier to go online. It's much easier to start a business. It costs very little. The Legacy Builder program costs $0 per month to run and operate. You don't have to spend any money in advertising. There's no monthly fees. You don't pay any upline, anything, right? Any money you spend, it's up to you, but you don't need to. That's the entire purpose of this program. Is you go on because you could launch a product if you got 50 grand in the bank to dump into marketing, just sell anything you want. Spend 15 grand on a website, you got 30 grand left over or so for advertising. Done. Well, most of us don't have 50 grand. We don't want to hire a consultant. I was already selling on Amazon and I made a good chunk of money. I think maybe I had 10 or 15 grand in the bank. And I went to a consultant. He's like, yeah, you need $27,000. And you give me 10, the rest is going to be for inventory and SEO on Amazon. I was like, what? I don't have $27,000. I was going to give him every dime I had made back then. That was almost 10 years ago. Actually, I look back now, I regret not doing that because it would have been smart. Amazon's blown up since then, of course. But again, the days of having to invest all that money is gone. You pay a one-time fee and you get the program and you got lifetime access to everything forever, right? If it takes you 3 months to get it off the ground, it takes you 3 years to get off the ground, it takes what it takes for you. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take that leap and start small, a couple hours a day. And that's all you really need. That's the beautiful things. It never has to go beyond that, right? Now you're gonna find that it's fun. You're gonna have a good time doing a lot of that, doing some of these things. So you'll probably work a little more because I enjoy what I'm doing. And I probably won't ever want to change. I'm gonna keep doing this as long as I can. It's a lot of fun to spend time with my kids. And I'm learning a ton. I'm going to teach my kids how to do some of these things so that when they're older, they don't have to go get a job. They're going to learn how to create their own income, which is the big mystery. When I was a teenager, my dad wasn't around much, right? I didn't see the guy. I didn't know much about money. I was like, okay, I have to get a job. That's all I thought. No one said, well, why don't you figure out how to make money instead of going to get a job? Because going to get a job for most Americans, that's the only way we know how to make money. It's the only way. No one ever said, why don't you take the lawnmower and walk up and down the street and offer to cut grass? Never. I was an idiot. I never thought of that. I could have had a landscaping company. One kid named Tommy, he had the paper route. He made bank. He had the big metropolitan newspaper and he delivered up and down the street. Tommy, what's up, Tom? Hope you're doing good. He still works in Boston, where I'm from. Anyway, he's a great guy. And he made a ton of money. He always had cash, always had girls. He had the life of a teenager, so he did great. We always gave him a big tip at Christmas, and we know he made money. I mean, there were hundreds of houses around up and down these streets. We know he did well. My point is that's entrepreneurship. He got paid tips, and he made a commission on the papers he sold. It's almost as good as profits. But why don't we teach our kids to make money? Lemonade stands are good, but I mean, they're not very profitable. But it's the concept, right? You take something, say you spend 20 bucks on supplies and you make 50 or 40, you double your money. Kids are like, yay, ice cream, movie money, whatever they want. When you buy toys, whatever they want to do with the money, right? That's the concept of making profits. But we have to get out of the idea of having a job. It's a trap. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. It's called Con Air. And Steve Buscemi plays this really creepy guy. His name is Garland Green. He's one of the convicts on this plane. And he starts chatting up Nicolas Cage, who's the main character. And Nicolas Cage is like, I don't know, you're insane or something like that. He's insane. What if I told you insanity was getting up every day, driving, commuting to work, to spend 40 years working in a cubicle just to die, and the company tells you to piss off at the end of your life? That's what he said to Nicolas Cage's character. And I'm thinking more about that, of how insane that really is. We're not really living our lives. We're living somebody else's life, the life that somebody else wants us to lead. But we can take that back. We can take back our lives by learning a new skill. Some people don't want to. They think there's security in jobs. Maybe. My buddy got fired. I've been fired. I have friends who've been fired. Sometimes for good reason, some for no reason. But there's no control in that. There's no security in someone else being able to cut off your income arbitrarily. There's no security in that. The only real security is your ability to make money on your own without the help of another person. And that's the opportunity that the internet gives us. Never have to go getting fired again. No more paycheck to paycheck. You can work from home. No more commuting. No more cubicle. No more swinging the hammer on the job site. I've done all those jobs. I've worked in warehouses, I've worked retail. I've done sales jobs, indoor, inside sales, outside sales, business to business, business to consumer, right? I've done all of it. And I can tell you this opportunity, this time, this era in this internet era is unprecedented for small businesses. When I was growing up, every business in town was family owned. Now, it might be a family from the next town over, but it was still owned by a family. There were very few corporate businesses. We had a small chain of what do you call them? Like the like a Walmart up north. It was a small chain of stores, right? Go in and buy shoes, or you could buy car stereo. It was like one of those, right? And a department store. It was like a mini department store. That was it. Otherwise, it was all family owned. Everything. The car dealerships, the pizza joints, the car washes, the jewelry store. Some of the banks were even owned by local families. Or it was a local chain. It was small banks. Now the corporations own everything. But we could shift all of the business back to mom and pop businesses. Mom and pop revolution. Families will be taking over a lot of retail businesses and service oriented businesses, and the chains will still survive, but there's an opportunity out there in almost every niche for us to go out and take back the economy and be in control. I know that was long, but if you're interested at all in finding out what I'm talking about, check the comments. I'll put a link, or just go to my channel. You'll see the link there. Drop your email in and get some information. So that's it. Have a great night, and thanks for watching.